Welcome to Clandeboye Golf Club. My name's Terry Crawford. I'm the course manager here. I'm just about to retire. I've had a career of 36 years here at Clandeboye and 46 in total, and I just want to talk a little bit about what I've learnt over this period of time here. We have 10 greenkeepers now, 2 mechanics. We have a main mechanic and an assistant mechanic. We needed a new assistant because with that much machinery.
Why did you just move away from electric and hybrid?
We wanted to go for more reliability. The mechanics really like the Toro equipment, there's no doubt about that. And there's more reliability with it. We needed the technology, we feel is just not as advanced as we would like it here at this moment in time.
Whenever I was here, you had the electric or the hybrid in.
Yes, we had the hybrid Eclipse, half hybrid, that was an engine plus the batteries.
Do you not think it's because the world's going battery and you're moving away from battery? Is there?
No, I think there's going to be a place for it, and I think it's the robots now are really the new technology on the golf course. There's no doubt about that, Robbie. I feel that 2 more seasons from now, I would think Clandeboye will definitely have full hybrids, not half hybrids, full hybrids. We have all our buggies.
Whenever you say full hybrids, Terry, do you mean robots, or do you mean more like like tools like this here?
More ride-on equipment, more greens cutting equipment.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. The batteries now, the technology in the batteries, and we've solar power, but solar's, the roof of this shed now fully solared. So now we've got disposable electric to run these hybrids, and before it was off the grid and we were paying for it. We actually bought the hand mowers mostly just for off-season from about October onwards, because we're finding the weather conditions are not suitable for the heavier equipment on the greens. So we just bought ourselves 4 or 5 hand mowers now just to get us through the winter time, because the climate definitely is changing. We're getting wetter, milder climates. When you're still trying to cut the greens at least 4 to 5 times a week, even through the winter time now, we would use the hand mowers rather than the ride-ons, because the perimeter cut really suffers with the ride-ons. With the hand mowers, you don't get that. A greens mower now, any of these greens mower now, you're looking now at about 45,000, 50,000 pounds for a greens mower. If you want to go hybrid and electric, you could be up to nearly 70,000 pounds. Fairway mowers here, an average fairway mower now, you're looking at about 60,000 pounds for a fairway mower.
And what height do you cut at now?
At this particular time, we're cutting around about maybe 14, 15 mil, but then that'll reduce then in increments then of mils every other week. So we'll probably be down or peak around about 11 mil on our fairways.
Do you think over time, so 30 years ago, do you think you'd have been cutting at that sort of height, or how do you think?
When I came here in 1990, we were cutting with rough gangs or fairway gangs. They were gang mowers pulled by a tractor, driven by the wheels. We couldn't get them down any lower than 18 mil back in the day. So us now at 11, and been cut with hydraulics. And a lot of greenkeepers or people in the industry who use gangs would know that if when the ground was wet and the studs and the wheels weren't gripping, you weren't getting a
left terrible finish as well, didn't it, in the wet?
You weren't getting
shocking.
Yeah, absolutely. You weren't getting a professional finish. And you can see that I have a mixture of colours on this shed. I've got green, I've orange.
Just for viewers that non-greenkeeping, just explain that.
Orange would be Jacobson, green would be John Deere, and red would be Toro. I'm a multicoloured workshop here at Clandeboye. There's no doubt about that, because I just feel we've purchased the correct machine for the correct job, and I'm not too concerned about what colour it is, as long as it's doing the thing that we want it to do. This is our second green in the Dufferin. This will be one of the things when I came to Clandeboye in 1990, it was a concern that the second green was really slopey. It took them a long time before we started it. People said it was a good thing to have a slopey green that the members knew it in match play against other teams and stuff like in visiting clubs. But over the years it just got steeper and steeper and became a wee bit ridiculous. 4 years ago we took this entire area, took the second green away and rebuilt a new design green by David Jones. Put mound on the back, we put it 2-tier, we redrained it from start to finish. That was a big success on their Dufferin golf course.
How much do you think the weather patterns has changed, and how has that affected greenkeeping?
Robbie, since this last 10 years, I've seen a massive change in my time here. We've, we've recorded rainfall for in around about 10 years. Every year, it's nearly the same amount of rain falls, but we're getting it at different times now. Like, we're not getting, yes, in 2023 and this year, record rainfalls, yes, a bit more rain those 2 years. But in general, over the period of 10 years, we're getting the exact same amount, but we're getting it later. We're not getting frost. We're getting milder winters with damper conditions. And when you're working on a golf course, you need to be providing a surface for the members. Like last year, we had to create hybrid courses here. We closed 9 holes here, 9 holes in the Dufferin, 9 holes in the Ava, rerouting 2 golf courses just to get people out because of membership. People need to get value for money, and when you're closed, and there's no money in that. But drainage was a big thing when we started to drain. We've 2 more greens to drain on our Dufferin golf course, and then we'll have every green drained. That has made a massive success. This first green here was our first green to trial. This used to be one of our poorer greens, and now the surface on it is really healthy, firm, and continued that process. And as I say, we've 2 more to do, and then our greens are fully drained and taking us into the next 30 years.
The last few years, the beginning of May's always been really
Yes.
dry in Northern Ireland.
Last year we had a heat wave, sure, everybody was putting suntan lotion on and we were out watering greens.
Currently filming this the end of April, and it's blue skies.
Yeah, so our seasons are changing. We just have to get ourselves ready for the change. So we apply wetnage, and wetnage has went on last week. We'll do a bit more grooming at the greens. That's very cutting. That's cutting any of the lateral growth. I'll just kind of maybe, we're introducing pure bents, a brown top bent, and brown top bent would be like more of these would grow laterally at times. So we're trying to snip that off and make it more upright. We're introducing more bents into our greens just to try to outcompete the Poanya, which is difficult, but we just feel we need that transition. The club have invested a lot of money in tarmac paths. Several of our holes now fully tarmac pathed in certain areas, which has made a massive difference. And then we're moving this across to the Ava course as well. This year we're going to be doing several holes on the Ava course tarmacking. Our first, second, third and fourth holes are getting tarmac. Again, on our Ava course we have a full 18-hole buggy path. That'd be one of the main things that I would class one of my achievements here for the membership for the future. There's a lot of older membership moved from the Dufferin course to the Ava.
I remember my own time putting into those paths we're starting, Terry.
Absolutely. We started off 3 holes, then went to 6 holes, 9 holes, and then fully 18. We're just on our Ava course now. We came up from the Dufferin. This is our 10th hole in the Ava. This would be another thing that I would class as an achievement of myself and the team. Working closely with David Jones, Clandeboye giving us the resources. We had another problem green, something similar to the second green on our Dufferin, but this green was just a wet green with the left-hand side, all the water used to cascade down onto it. It was built on a rock foundation again, and when we lifted the green, we had to spend maybe 3 days rock breaking. We eventually got a new green put in here. We moved it across the right-hand side. We filled a drain on the right-hand side, and it's just a beautiful wee golf hole now. It's a pitch hole. It's around about 150 yards long now. We've took a bit of length off it. Again, you can see the tarmacking. This is our first job up here to tarmac. We've tarmacked this existing path right the whole way around. You can see this green now looking down onto it now. It's a nice golf green. This is our 3rd hole on our Ava course area just in front. You can see all the rocks. It used to be similar to the right-hand side there with the gorse. So we exposed all these rocks. We took away the gorse and exposed the rocks. This hole's called Purple Alley. We've planted out some purple heathers and trying to get it back into the original name and the look of the hole. Again, that's another thing that members are delighted that happened, because it's very penal here when you're standing here looking straight into a wall of gorse in front of you. And now that's gone, and it utilises the lovely rocks. We cleared the rocks, and then we washed them down with a power washer, and they're looking really well now.
Before I wrap up this video, I want to say a big, massive thank you to Clandeboye Golf Course, Terry Crawford, Phil Montgomery, and their team. Absolutely fantastic filming the series there. This is the 6th video over about the last 5 years or so. And those videos had about 750,000 views in total, which is absolutely amazing. I used to work myself at Clandeboye for a long time. I worked under Terry for about 8 years, and most of the knowledge that I teach on my channel comes from the advice and mentoring I've had from Terry over the years. But I'm going to say, hopefully this isn't the last time we see Terry on the channel.